You know what I mean? But you can't because there's nothing on there. So with that, I mean, those are the four most critical items. Make sure you've got a way for people to get a hold of you quickly. Phone number, not just the contact me form that you're putting your name and email and all that and push submit. No, put a phone number on there so people can call you. Because like Brian always says, you are a click away on the internet, right? I mean, they pull you up and they want some information out. There's no phone number. Guess what? Back to the search result. Next, please. We did that. We were looking for properties or property information in Syracuse, New York. We pulled up a search. We had to go through 26 blogs before we found one that had their phone number on it. 26.
Wow.
And then the one we called didn't call us back for 3 days.
So question, so since real estate agents, most of them, they're out and about probably a little bit more than us, and they have a camera usually, would you suggest constantly with them even shooting videos, or would you have them write a blog instead of a video?
Well, there's a, the thing is with a video, unlike a written blog, it speaks to people more. It's the best way for a potential client to get to know, like, and trust you. All this with the understanding that that's the only reason we're doing any of this is to generate more business. So when you're actually speaking to somebody through a video blog, they get to see the changes in your face. They get to hear the inflection in your voice. They get to see how you carry yourself, how you hold yourself. All that comes across. The only way that's better than that is to actually speak with somebody face to face. And as Frank likes to point out, the great thing about your video blogging is, if you think about it, we do a lot of prospecting with our video blogging. You do a lot of prospecting with your phone calls, okay? So when you call somebody, what can happen? Okay, so you can call somebody and you don't get through. That's bad. You can call somebody and you get their voicemail, so you're still not talking to them. That's bad. You can call somebody and they're busy and they're just not in the mood to talk to their loan guy or their realtor right now. That's bad. Or they could pick up the phone and they could listen to your message and they're ready to hear it, and that's good. So even when you're making a phone call, you're phone prospecting, you have 4 possible options, 3 of which are bad. And then when you do get through to somebody, they're hearing you on the phone. Now this is the great thing about video marketing, if you choose to go down this road, is first of all, you're going to shoot the video and you're not going to release it until you shot the video that you want to shoot, until you get your message across precisely, okay? Until you're carrying yourself right, so you understand that you're not stuttering, you have good eye contact with what you're doing. And then when you send it out, what happens? It sits and waits in their inbox until they're ready to receive your message. That's the best time to be communicating with a client. Even better than talking to them on the phone, because they are going to watch a cloned version of you giving the exact message you want to give to them. Okay? That's really powerful stuff. Here's the deal. It doesn't even necessarily need to be about mortgages. You could have messages on a variety of items. I want you guys to consider this. With our mailers out there, okay? You have your mailers. Mailers are a great way to stay in touch with people. They're pretty expensive, but dang, better than not doing it right. But that piece of paper is only working for you for a short period of time if they're even looking at it in the first place, just a matter of seconds. The cool thing about your video blogs is that if somebody likes it, they can hit the forward. This is a message that maybe my cousin Sally would like to hear right now, because I know she's looking at a mortgage. Nobody's going to take your mailer and go down to Kinko's, lick a bunch of stamps, copy a whole bunch of, copy a whole bunch of, of your whatever your flyers and send it off to them. So emailing has the possibility of going viral. Here's something to consider. The FDIC IndyMac video that we shot that went to, I don't know, about 10 million people. I don't want to keep kicking, this dead horse, but that was a story of a gentleman who lived outside of Phoenix, Arizona, and that was a story that was put in blog form.
Text form.
Mm-hmm. It was on his blog, mm-hmm. And in text form, 6 months prior to when we sent it out. That in text form got maybe 4,000 or 5,000 views. Our video of virtually the same story got 10 million. It was the only time in the history of blogging that the chairperson of a major agency, Sheila Bair of the FDIC, came out and actually had to make a statement against it. She said we were full of shit, but still she had to come out and make a statement about it, right? It was picked up by the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, the Sacramento Bee, the Chicago Tribune, the LA Times. It was completely viral. It was one of the biggest stories in the country for, a couple of months. A couple of months, but whatever. And the thing is this, is that's because it was in video form and it was easier to digest. So when you're sending out information, I want you to consider this. So when we're online, and Frank hit it, you totally hit it on the head. You're just a click away. You're just a click away. When somebody's searching for houses, they're just doing this online, right? They're just doing this online, they're clicking. When you digest information online, how do you do it? So if you're reading an article, you'll skim the article, and you'll say, okay, I think I want to commit to reading this 1,500 word article that's going to take me 9 minutes. But you'll actually skim it to make that determination first. Whereas if you're reading a book that stinks, you'll read that book for 90 pages before you decide to put it down. If you're watching a movie that stinks, you'll watch it for a half hour and say, this thing's dumb, I think I'm over with it. But when you're watching a video online, you'll watch the thing for 20 seconds, and if it doesn't grab you, you're gone. People digest information differently online. So the point is this. When you ask about what should people do and not do, when you're going online, if you're going to do text form or video blogging, get to the point. People have a shorter attention span online, so you want to make sure you get to the point. When it comes to information out there, I think the video is going to be a better way of going about prospecting, and I think it's going to be a better form for communication. And for a lot of agents out there, one thing we haven't even talked about is it's a better form of time management for you as well.
You know, and getting back to what you were saying as well, the do's and don'ts. You know, when it comes to the do's, right? The do's. What we've learned is that, like Brian said earlier, I think he said it earlier, is that when we're making posts and whatnot, or if we were going to do text form, or if we're going to do video, or whatever the case may be, you know, we in the real estate profession, you know, we really are very caught up with who we are and our business and our industry and all that kind of stuff. But you know, our past clients, family, and friends out there, you know, I mean, they're over it. You know what I mean? They're either upside down, or they got the house, their first time buyer, they just moved on with it. You know, real estate's just really not that big of an important thing to them anymore. You know what I mean? But we want them to stay in touch. We want them to stay tuned in. So the topics that you wanna. What I would do is this. I would say like this. I would go, all right. For my past clients, family, and friends, you can have multiple blogs, right? So I would have a blog that's specifically for past clients, family, and friends. That, you know, every time I make my post, I email them that post. I put it on my Facebook, put it on my Twitter, say, come and look at my post. In those posts, I would just share things that are, like Brian said earlier, you know, value, entertainment, enrichment is what we point out. These are things that, like, one of the big examples we use is a gal came to me asking for help on a video, and I said, well, what do you want to talk about? She said the tax credit, when the tax credit was going on. I said, well, put that aside. I said, has anything happened in your life recently that you thought was interesting or cool or something like that? She goes, yeah. I said, I ate spaghetti factory the other night on Tuesday night. My kids ate for free. I said, get out of here. You got to be kidding. She goes, no, I'm serious. I go, well, that's your blog post. You know, that's something that's interesting, that's helpful, that's useful, that's valuable to anybody, whether I'm in the mood for real estate or not. But here's the key. The key to that is I make that blog post. I go, hey, just want you to know I found this out. It was great. You might have a picture in there of a kid sticking spaghetti in space. I don't even care if it's your kid, just some kid. You know what I mean? So, but you know, or in the video, whatever. You tell some kids eat for free at Spaghetti Factory is really cool. Pass it along. If you know anybody that could use this, pass it along, right? But you always say, and don't forget, I sell real estate. If you're looking for that, you know, contact me about that because that's what I do. Now, the reason that we do that is we always remind them what we do. But we're providing information to them that's useful to them no matter what. You know what I mean? So every time they see a new blog post come from you, they're going to go, I wonder what it is this time. And if it's always I'm talking to you about my new listing, right, then they know it's another listing that I'm not interested in, so I'm not even going to open the thing up. But if it's always something interesting or different or useful or helpful that is combined with you saying, don't forget I sell real estate, now I've done something. The other one that I would do, which is what Cal was talking about, we shared about today, is a blog is so powerful for this. If you've got real estate people that are farming a subdivision, right, I would go make a blog with that subdivision's name right away. I live in the Meadowlands of Vacaville. In fact, I think I did buy MeadowlandsUpdate.com. I own it. But, you know, I get MeadowlandsUpdate.com or something like that, Meadowlands Review or whatever the case may be. And what I would do is I would partner with a real estate person. If you're a real estate person, I'd partner with a mortgage guy, right? And once a week, I would talk about what's going on in that subdivision. This is very industry specific now, okay? This is very much, now I am talking about how many closings, how many sales, what's the average listing, what's the average time on the market, what's the, you know, those sort of things. What's happening at the park? What's the new tax assessment about? Those are the items that I would be posting about, right? And then I would couple that with a postcard campaign, letting everybody in that subdivision know that their new blog about their subdivision exists, and they should come and visit it and check it out.
Well, the cool part is that they can then participate on the blog. It could create its own
vortex
vortex
talking
of
about
interest.
It.
And then
right.
you were the only person marketing on it. Let me tail off what you're saying here for a second, because I think what you're talking about is you know, obviously different ways of getting found here online so you can increase your business, as is the case for everything. if you have the subdivision, it becomes a very specific, a very focused search, and that's exactly what you want to have. If you're searching real estate Atlanta, you're going to get 10 billion hits. If you're going to do mortgages Atlanta, you're going to get 10 billion hits.
Results.
Let me results. Excuse me. Let me give you an example of just kind of thinking outside of the box of items that can help you. I know a company that rather than getting 30-year mortgage, 15-year mortgage in terms of searches, they put in 25-year mortgage, 20-year mortgages, 10-year mortgages. Because a lot of people are searching that, but not a lot of people are getting domain names that are associated with it. They get 10 times the hits from 25-year mortgage searches, 20-year mortgage searches, and 10-year mortgage searches, because there's just not as a large pool of results to be hit from. Here's the other thing that you can do that we recommended on our show here a couple of months ago. So we live in California, and we did a lot of VA loans. The reason we did VA loans is because we had Travis Air Force Base right in our backyard. It's the largest Air Force base on the West Coast. It's a city into itself. Between active, reserve, and people traveling through there that are vets, it's got 30,000 people at any given time. So we covet VA loans locally. So now, when we're putting together our blogs, well, we want to put VA loans Fairfield because, well, certainly we VA in Fairfield. But here's the problem: everybody's already done that. VA is a generic search term. Fairfield's a generic search term. So are we really looking for VA people? Okay. Yeah, we are. But more specifically, we're looking for Travis Air Force Base people, right? Because those are the VA people in our own backyard. So rather than hit up a pool where there's a billion people searching for VA, we said, well, let's see if these domain names are available. Travis Air Force Base Mortgage, Travis Air Force Base Real Estate, Travis AFB Home Loans. All of these domains were available, all of them. And think about it. What we're ultimately trying to do is get the people at that base, but just by thinking outside of the box a little bit, we picked up 15 domain names that are going to get tagged all day long. Those will get to the top of a Google search without the use of search engine optimization. So what I'd recommend to you guys, if you're or you're thinking of the possibilities of looking into blogging, look at some of the domain names that you can look at that are more specific and a little bit off the beaten path. Your bases are a great way locally. I bet you before we left here today, we could figure out a couple bases, go to GoDaddy.com and find some sites that would just get pounded by potential leads.
You then route those sites to your main one.
What happens is they route right to your blog. Okay, so do you have a Marine, Army, Navy, Naval, any Air Force, or any bases out here?
Fort McPherson is in
Fort McPherson.
Air Force Base.
See right there, I would go through there and go to GoDaddy. I'd spend 20 minutes thinking of searches that you can do. Because here's the thing: you might have somebody who's getting transferred, from California or from Ohio over here, and they're going to be, I'm over by the base. Let's see what they got for loans or houses.
Real estate, Fort McPherson, real estate.
Yeah.
You get that domain name. Somebody's probably going to put that in Google search. It's number one. It'll be number one.
I'll bet somebody $20 right here. It's available right here, right now. I'll bet you. Anyone $20?
Come on, let's go. 20, huh?
Anybody? Okay, good. So anyways, if you can think off the beaten path in terms of what your searches are, you guys are going to find business that way. Again, the cool thing about all the stuff that we're talking about is it's an investment of time. It's not an investment of money. Everything we're talking about is free. Everything.
You can get all your blogs for free at realestatemarbles.com. That's realestatemarbles.com, where there's tutorials on how to put them together and everything.
And act now. You get a set of steak knives to slice and dice.
Gives you a knife.